Welcome back. This is Spoiler Kings. We're going to talk about One Piece, the Netflix sensation. The 8 episodes we got, dude. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but honestly, I started off like I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know how I'm gonna enjoy this or not. And by episode 3, they had me totally enthralled, and I was like, "What's happening next?" I love it. Tell me about you guys' first thoughts.
Go ahead, Brandon. You want me to go first?
You go first.
You're at the bottom.
Um, man, this like you said, I watched this with my girlfriend like that first weekend when it came out, and we fell in love with it. I wasn't sure how she was gonna like it because it is based off the anime. Um, I was really looking forward to it, especially with the trailers we watched before,
Mhm.
and she fell in love with it. She fell in love with all the characters, the style, like everything about it. And then obviously I loved it because I'm a big anime fan.
Mhm.
I never started watching One Piece because the episode count kind of scared me away. But
Mm-hmm.
after watching this, we're like, okay, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole and we're gonna watch 1,100 episodes, of One Piece because that's what this show did. This show made me wanna read the manga and watch the cartoon. But yeah, I
Mhm.
absolutely loved all 8 episodes. They were great. Yeah. So yeah.
Mhm.
What about you? What
What
about
you
you,
got,
Brandon?
B?
Um, Gum Gum, great show. um, yeah, I like that. Like we had talked about last week. I really liked how they really just embraced the kind of whimsical out there feel of the anime and the manga. I'm not like huge into anime or manga, but I did kind of do my research on One Piece leading up to the show, and I thought they did a great job. I thought the cast was absolutely spot on. I thought they understood the characters. The creators just understood what they needed to go for, and I think they hit it right on the nose. I just love the feel and the energy of the show as well. Um, and they just didn't shy away from what makes it from its roots. They didn't shy away from that. So I'll watch as many sequels as they feel like making at this point. You know,
Hopefully a lot. Hopefully
I
a
yeah.
lot.
got I gotta
Mhm.
say, someone who didn't watch One Piece. I have, I like anime. I like certain types of anime. Like I'm a huge Naruto. Of course, Dragon Ball. Some things I really like, and I've heard I heard bad things about like Luffy would be annoying to me because the type of person, the type of things I like to watch. And
Mhm.
though he was annoying, I didn't care about him as much as I cared about the other characters. I still think he was pretty good, and they caught me. Like once I got in there, it was over. Like I was sucked in, and I was one. I need to know what happens next. I need to know what's going on, and the things they did were just pretty amazing. So, um, I can't wait to even jump into all these things. So,
Yeah.
first thing we're gonna
Mhm.
get into is the likes. Tank, you gonna lead us up? What are the things you really liked about this season?
Um, man, this season I thought them introducing the characters in a way where like each one was doing their own thing, and then they kind of tied into to Luffy and what he was doing. I thought that was really interesting because like there is a lot of crew members of of the Luffy's gang kind of thing, and
Mhm.
getting these guys in there and each one of them getting their own little side story in the season like made sense. Like it wasn't like yeah, Luffy was the first one that he got all his stuff, and then Zoro and had his
Nami,
little backstory. Nami had his little backstory. You know, even I can't think of the other guy's name. Um,
Sanji, and
Sanji, and then um um man, what was it the cook, not the cook guy, the guy with the slingshot, the guy who embellishes a lot.
the
Mhm.
one who
I can't think I can't think of his name.
I mean, Usopp was good. Shanks is
But
great. I mean, it's
Usopp.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Kobe was
but
boring,
yeah,
but no one cared about Kobe.
but even he was interesting because I was like, he knows all this stuff now, but yet he's still like going along with it. Like like the Marines. are kind of doing messed up shit. You know, the vice admiral has his secrets, but he kept going with it, and it was like at what point are you like, you know what, maybe I'm not with the good guys, you know? But
Yeah.
then even like Luffy, you know, tells him like, oh yeah, like you be good, you know? So I was like,
Mhm.
it was cool, man. You know, and then you like how you said like you like Dragon Ball Z, you like Naruto, but people told you might not like Luffy.
Yeah,
They're all the fucking same. Like
they
like
are
go
exactly. I was like,
go
dude, we talking. They're all
Goku.
fucking
Yeah,
uh
like over the top.
manipulative, using very crazy, and
Well, no, I'm just thinking the main
Mhm.
characters like Goku,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Naruto, and Luffy. They're so
You don't
they're
think?
so like
I felt like Luffy was
like
very emotionally manipulative. Same thing when I'm talking about Naruto. Like yes, kind of pulling people in because he knows what makes them tick. You know, and
yeah,
being very over top, very loud, very all this
over
stuff.
like
All
very loud, yeah.
you know,
But
but
like never can give up. Like no, I'm gonna fight because that's what I do.
it's almost
But I don't
goofy
know
with
about
some of that stuff. So
oh, it's anime. That's it is. It's always goofy,
Mhm.
you know. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if it's manipulative. I think like there's such good guys, no matter what, they're always gonna be on the right side, the good guy side, and that always brings people to like them more. You know, whether it be like a former enemy that might be a new, you know, ally, or your
Mhm.
friends become more even closer with you. It's like these guys are the embodiment of good, you know, because even like when they're like, hey, I'm gonna go be a Marine, you go do that because that's what you want to do, man. And I'm gonna support you, even though I fucking hate the Marines. I'm gonna support you know, and it's like, you know, and that's what makes these guys like anime, and that's what makes them fun for me, you know. But and like Brandon said, like them going full out anime was my
Mhm.
favorite thing. Like I like Luffy being like, yes, you know, and screaming like, of
Absolutely.
course you will, or whatever he said. It was like it was so anime, it was so stupid, and but it was so perfect. It fitted so well. I enjoyed like
Mhm.
the over the topness of it all. You know,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, and it
All right,
looked good. All the costumes looked
it
great.
did, and they did a great
All the
job with
costumes,
casting and all
Sure
the
did.
outfits. All right, B, what do
yeah.
you guys for your good? What do you got, B, for your good?
Oh, my good, my good. I'm sorry.
I was like, did he freeze?
I'd say from a technical standpoint, I really liked that they went all out. I liked the way that the ships looked. I love the way that the costumes looked because they were right out of the anime, I thought.
Mhm.
I liked that each character kind of had their own like arc. Uh,
Hmm.
and I did like that there was thought and care put into the fight choreography as well. You know,
Yeah,
it easily could have been a shaky cam scenario, and I'm happy it wasn't.
That's a bit. Those are all very good points. I'm right there with you because honestly, I think the my biggest like was though they had all this choreography. It it was anime, and they kept the anime looked to it, and they did all the stretching out of stuff, and it didn't look bad. It made sense and it didn't look bad, and they kept all those elements in it, along with the
Mhm.
casting was so good. Um, I enjoyed all of them looked like the characters they needed to look like.
yeah,
Um, I like the story. The story is tight. Don't get me wrong. So the One Piece story, especially what they did for this first season, is tight. There is nothing wrong with it. They kept it going. Um, all the characters had total beginnings. Like had a really good start, and they gave them like this their own beginning setting. So I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
Um, Honestly, I mean, the way they brought everyone in, how the crew started, all the backstories, even the flashbacks were so very good and
Mhm.
made you enjoy the character and like the characters. So yeah, those are definitely my goods. All right,
yeah.
Tank, but what do you have for the bad?
Oh man, I really don't know, man. Because there's really not much I didn't like.
It's tough,
You
right?
know, yeah, it's really just the like. I mean, because the dialogue could be a little over the top at times, but that's kind of what it was going for. You know, I mean, you can say some of the. You could say I'm not saying. I mean, some of the costumes design might have felt too cosplay-ish. you know, but again, like I want that. You know what I mean? I don't want X-Men wearing black, tights or black, paintball
Leather.
armor when
Yeah.
they should be wearing, the stuff that they wear in the comic books, So, but a lot, this is what I'm hearing a lot of people say, that they look too cosplay and the dialogue is stupid, But I'm like, it's an anime. It's supposed to be stupid, like not stupid, but over the top,
Mhm.
and I want my characters to look like how I know my characters. Um,
Definitely.
but for me, man, it was so hard to find anything bad. I mean, if I got to say anything bad, like, I wish I had more episodes. I wish it was another 8 more episodes, like
Mhm.
16 to 20. I would have been super happy. Um, but yeah, that's really the only bad thing was I wanted more. Like, but I can't think of like anything bad. That's and I've been talking to other people. Like me and my girlfriend usually talk about these things, and we couldn't figure anything out.
Hold
Yeah.
that thought,
About
guys. I'll be right back. Keep talking. I just gotta put something in the dryer.
okay, okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
But even I'm on vacation with my sister and her boyfriend, and they're like huge One Piece fans, and even they loved it, like so. I really don't know what I don't like about it because it was damn near perfect.
Hmm.
I binged it. I don't know the last time I binged anything on Netflix like this. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't see. I'm
What
gonna
about
say
you?
bad. I don't know if it's is actually bad. It's more that I wasn't enthralled by the first episode. Like the first episode was good, but I wasn't like, this is it. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to do all this stuff by the first episode. It took episode
Mm,
3. The first, 1, 2 was fine. I was watching it. This is good. This is good. And then by 3, I was like, yes, this is not just good. This is great. The storytelling is great. I love what they're doing with all the characters. I cared more about every character. Like Luffy is good, but you know who he is. He's just a good guy.
mm,
Everyone else is more complicated. Nami was complicated. Zoro's complicated. Usopp was complicated. Like all of them were more complicated. I enjoyed all the different characters,
mhm.
and what they were doing. I mean, of course it's goofy. You got a guy who fights with a sword in his mouth, like a third sword. Where's the third sword go? Like it's just
That was awesome.
so crazy.
That
But
was awesome.
I think it understood what it was, and
Hmm.
it really hit on all those things. But it did take me a little time to get into it. But I think it's probably more because I didn't know what I was getting into yet. But once I was in it, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I can see. I enjoyed the first episode enough for my. I had fun with it. Okay, but I do agree. By episode 3, I was like hooked. I'm like, oh, we can't stop now. This because I believe episode 3 is when you meet Zoro and Nami for the first time. I
Yeah.
think,
No.
right?
So no, Nami. You need Zoro and Nami still in the first episode, right?
I don't remember. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard when you binge. It all becomes like one giant
So
episode.
the second episode is where you meet Buggy, the clown.
Not in the second episode.
That's the second episode.
Wish I had extra.
Because the first episode, at the end of the first episode, they get captured, remember, and they're in the circus. That second episode is when they're captured.
Oh yeah,
So that's when you meet Buggy and understand everything.
yeah.
And Buggy's telling them, oh, I knew, I knew the guy. You
Yeah.
think you love him, you think you know him, but I really knew him.
Horgeek put it up like Nami Zoro episode 1, Usopp episode 3, and then Sanji episode 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wish we had more of Sanji. I would say that. I wish we got Sanji a little bit earlier. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I would say if we had 8 more episodes, like I think that would have been cool because then we can really have these characters met. Because like the season ended right when they finally are all on the same page. So it's like, oh, now the story starts. Now I want to know what they. So it's like,
Because you
oh
got to think about
shit,
the first episode. They're still, we're not part of your crew. We're not a crew.
yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
by
they
the
did that for
second
the.
episode, they started seeing how good Luffy was, and he's like, it doesn't matter if he's good or not. He believes in himself. you know. And at 3, they started to really come together, and they added more, you know. So they, you know, that's what. Yeah. Episode 3 is when they when Usopp. Yeah. So that's when you start meeting that. Yes, it's building, but I think that's also part of the thing, part of the allure of it is that it's building so much of it. It's trying to capture you, so then you're going to be wanting the season 2, and that's why season 2 is going to be so important. You know that and it's important that they get it out quickly. But I can definitely see this having a lot of fans, just like Cobra Kai. But we need to get season 2 out faster than, you know.
Season 2 is ready to go. They said as soon as the strike is over, they are filming. It's written, it's ready to rock and roll. Like, I'm like, that's crazy. That also, like I don't know, Horror Geek said it, and well, also Oda said it, or Horror Geek in chat, where Oda, who's the creator of it, handpicked the characters. He's very, very involved, and I didn't know that until today, when actually my sister's boyfriend told me. You know, it's like, oh yeah, like he's really involved in it. I'm like, that's pretty awesome, because then you don't have to worry or guess. You can just like, hey, what did you do here? Oh, okay, let's do that. You know, it's like, you know,
that's
like you have
exactly what we talked about before. I think we talked about, you know, when you have creators that are part of the series, that's huge for the series. I mean, and that, now you know that it's going to actually hit everything it needs to hit, and that it's going to stay truthful to the first material. You know, we actually know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, what were your bads, B?
I think with you know, as much as I loved how much they leaned into the you know, the source material, I can see how it can grow a little exhausting for people like who aren't really kind of like fans of this sort of thing or understand this kind of thing like we do. So I could I could see it kind of wearing thin for people in that regard, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not for everyone. That's what I'm getting at. It's definitely for a very select crowd. So like not everyone's going to be able to get into it. I also thought that some of the CG kind of here and there was a little dodgy at times. But really, those are really my thing. The tone's not going to be for everyone, and the CG only here and there was a little dodgy, but that's really all that I can immediately think of.
Okay,
yeah.
So Horgy got a few things in here, so start reading. Luffy is one of the few Shonen Jump main characters that stayed number 1 popularity polls. My favorites in the manga are definitely Luffy and Usopp. I love that all Usopp lies end up coming true. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
You say something and then next you know, like, yeah, it actually happened. Like, how?
Yeah.
Really?
It even started a little bit like at the end with Harlong's camp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or like he you know, it's becoming real. So that's cool.
I always thought that he was maybe even a soothsayer or like a story, you know, someone who sees the future and he doesn't know it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's what I was thinking. So
yeah.
Said he was a walking spoiler for what will happen in the future. Even some of the lies take like 600 chapters to come true.
Oh, jeez. That's pretty cool.
Then he said, they already set up the major villains for season 2. Works. Number 7, guy that Zoro killed in episode 1. Garp even mentioned them.
I know I had like the post credit scene, you know, with the guy smoking. I guess his name is Smoker. So
that's a creative name, Smoker. All right, so here's my question for you guys. where do you see this is going? So you think that's the main character for the future right now? That's what we're
Who?
gonna get. The smoker.
Luffy's the main character. Oh,
No,
Smoker.
the smoker's gonna be the main villain. So I'm sorry.
In the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it's already written. All the stuff is there. Where's it gonna go?
What do you think, Brandon?
You know, I'm not like I said, I haven't watched enough One Piece to really know where they're gonna go from this and how close they're following the anime. But I think it's gonna be a lot of what we got this one. You know, Monkey and the crew just trying to find the One Piece and their misadventures and other pirates that they encounter.
Mm-hmm.
When they get to the line. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be that plus like more. I think the more pirates we start finding out about, the more we're gonna enjoy it. I think like, with how crazy it gets. Like we only saw one of the warlords.
Yep.
We only seen a vice admiral. We haven't seen all the other guys above him. You know. Well, I think that's one thing I kind of didn't like until I talked to somebody who knows everything, you know, that's fully caught up. It was like, how is the vice admiral so powerful? I'm like, they don't explain it at all. I'm like, did he take a devil fruit or demon fruit, whatever it's called? Like, or is he just gifted? You know, and then I'm like, that's the problem. I'm like, I want to know who took the devil fruit and who did it, you know, and yeah, so he explained some things without spoiling
Telling
it
you
for me.
everything.
But I'm like, I see why they can't tell you in the story yet, but I can see where they're gonna go, and it's like, oh, now you get the different power rankings, I guess, power levels, you know. But right off the bat, I was like, this dude's supposed to be like super strong, and then he's getting his ass kicked, you know, at the same time. So I'm like, oh, he ate the fruit too. No, he didn't. I was like, wait, what? Like, you know, yeah, yeah. But
I mean,
but
I definitely was enjoying the villain of the week type of feel to a lot of this stuff to explain all these people coming out.
Yeah. So like you said, season 2 is going to focus on the political world. It already started to do something like that in this season because like the fish people, you know, the fishmen, whatever, were definitely like like a one for one kind of um comparison to like, you know, slavery in America and private slavery in a lot of countries, you know. So I was like, oh shit, okay, like we're getting into some real topics, you know, sprinkled in with like silliness, but it has like all this like different stuff. And I think it's gonna get more into that. It's gonna get more into like, you know, who's in charge and should they be in charge? Why are they in charge? You know, who's corrupt, who's good, you know, and stuff like that. And that's gonna be really
Who's
interesting.
being good and who's really the bad guy.
Yeah. So
All right, so we're gonna jump right into our rating real quick, guys. So, you know, here are the Spoiler Kings. We rank things a little bit differently. It's pretty simple. We rate things. We got now, later, or never. So for One Piece, what are your ratings, Brandon? I'm gonna have you go first.
I could give this a now just because I had a lot of fun watching it. I'd say this is a pretty easy now. It just knew what it had to do. I think it executed it brilliantly. I had a lot of fun. I was very hooked and engaged with each episode. And my complaints about it, you know, it's not perfect by any means, but my complaints about it are very minimal. Love the dude who played Monkey. He was great. Actually, the whole cast overall, I thought was really good. It was nice to see a live action anime adaptation that actually treated the content with respect because we don't get that very often. So, you know, even if you're not familiar with the original One Piece, I'd say give it a shot anyway. You might like it, you might not, but you know, I thought it was pretty great. I can give this a now.
All right, what about you, Tank?
Oh, I'm giving this a now. This was for me, it was damn near perfect. I had so much fun with it. It was I want all of it now. where to the point where I might watch all of it now when me and my girlfriend has time. It was so great. It was a lot of fun. I loved the characters and I mean, and from what I understand, there's a lot of like one to one, like straight from the comic book, straight from the anime onto live action kind of stuff, and that was awesome. That was awesome. So yeah, like I know, like Corgi brought up Mihawk, which was the guy with
Mm-hmm.
the big sword.
Yep.
And when he pulled out the tiny sword thing, like one thing he says, like, you don't pull out a cannon to kill a rabbit. I was like, and then I find out like that's directly from the cartoon. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I love it. So it's definitely an out.
All right, so that's two nows. So what do I say? I also give it a now. I can't talk about too much. I mean, just truthfully, as I said, once you got into episode 3, you were hooked in, and you're going to watch 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it was on my mind all the time. Like I had to finish 6, 7, 8. And like when I started 6, it was over because it didn't matter what else I was doing. I was going to continue to watch. So even when I'm watching it last night, I was like, oh man, I'm going to continue I have to watch it. Even though I was pissed about other stuff, didn't matter. I watched it and enjoyed it and was happy that, I wasn't upset that the sun was coming up when it went off. So I love the content, and I think everyone should give it a chance because I know you might not be a manga or anime type of person, but I think it's fun for everybody, especially if you get into episode 3. So I give it a now. But that's our ratings. What do you guys think in the chat and the people watching it later? I want to know if you guys think it's great now, it's a good later, or do you want to come back to it, or what is this something you're going to be able to watch, when your days off, or do you want to just go get it now because this weekend is not a big movie weekend? So is this something that you would be interested in watching? Let us know. Put it in the comments. Tell us what you're thinking about it. Was it as good as we think it is, or are we just overblowing it? Let us know. We got Horror Geek in here. I want to put a couple of his things in there.
No, yeah.
Season 2 should have 4 arcs. Loketown, Little Garden, Drum Island, and the big one is Alabasta.
I don't know about any of that, but I'll take it off.
I have no idea too. And that's actually what I wanted to ask you guys. Did this make you want to watch the anime? Were you ready to watch the anime because of this stuff?
Well, I already answered. So.
Yeah. What about you, B?
What about the second season?
Are you ready to watch the anime, like the actual anime?
Yeah. Got more than enough time in between seasons, obviously, at this point. So I can get even more research done.
Yeah.
Not a bad answer. Not a bad answer. All right, guys. So this is what we got. Hope you guys can watch it and enjoy it and know what it's for, what it's about. Just enjoy it for what it is, and we will talk about it later. Let us know what you guys think. We'll see you guys later, and we're going to the next topic.